Bobby Dirkens here. Thank you so much for joining me for this wonderful, wonderful preview of Clemson versus LSU, and we're going to do some stats comparison. Well, I mean, we're not going to talk about every little thing. We're going to talk about their stats. We're going to see how they compare. We're going to talk about some numbers of the players. I'd like to do even more, but I'm going to tell you right now, you start digging in some of these numbers, your head start hurting you. But thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications. I really appreciate everybody being here. A lot of subscribers recently. Lord, everybody's been showing up so I can show out, and I sure do appreciate it. I tell you this, it gets me out of my wife's hair. It's good to see you. And a bunch of people's getting in here. Let's see, Parker Henderson, Coastal 79, Jesse Sullivan, T. Davis. Hadn't seen you in a while, buddy. Andy Nickus, Antoine Williams. Antoine hadn't seen you in a while. I saw the Clemson Tigers are in here. It's a good place to be if you're a Clemson Tiger. Or anybody else who's not acting like a douche. So, let's talk about these two teams. They both come in 14-0. Somebody is going 15-0 again. It is what it is. It's as easy to say as the Tigers are going to win. It's just which one is it going to be. So let's jump right into this. We know that LSU has had a tougher schedule than Clemson, and we'll go through their schedule. Right now. Here's a full schedule for LSU. All right. I'm gonna read through this quick, so I'm not auctioning off anything. So if some of you start throwing your hand up, I'm not going to raise the price. There is no price. Unless you want to give me money, I will take that. So let's start back. Let's start back at the very beginning of the year. Everybody was playing a lot of their cupcake games. I actually liked the beginning of the season cupcake games. You can get out there, you let your players run, some of them freshmen or youngins that hadn't been on the field for a while, let them run free. It's kind of like watching a little Shetland pony gallop through the wild greens, the air blowing and everything, a little circus music playing in the background. I like it. Turns my crank. First week, they beat Georgia Southern. LSU beat Georgia Southern 55-3. Next week, they played at then number 9 Texas, which we now know is, well, they won 45-38 in Austin. Burrow threw for 471 yards. That was a good game for him. That's when people started seeing the guy can throw the ball around. We knew he could throw the ball around, but we saw him really throw the ball and really be productive. That was some of his highest numbers for the season, 471. Next game, they played Edwards-Helaire alma mater. What was it? I looked it up one time. Some of y'all are going, you got it wrong. But sounded like Ed there. But he played some at LSU, but I think he finished out Northwestern State. But y'all beat his alma mater 65-14. Then you went to Vanderbilt. You were at Vanderbilt. You beat them in Nashville 66-38. You did allow 38 points to Vanderbilt. On October the 5th, you played the Mormon Rejects of Utah State. Beat them 42-6. At first, they tried to hang with you. You wore them down. Then you played Florida. That was a good game. I watched that game. Trask played a good game. The key to that game to me was y'all could run the ball, and they could not. That was really the major difference I saw in that. And as sure as a butthole stinks, that is going to be a very big asterisk for both running backs in this game. Etienne and Edwards-Helaire. Helaire. All I know is he's talented. I wonder how that leg's doing right now. Won that game 42-28. Then you played Mississippi State. Mississippi State, you beat them 36-13. After that, you played Auburn. Closest game you've had all year. You beat them 23-20. Very, very, very interesting game. I was surprised when I saw that score. In fact, I thought, is this the upset? But you finished out the game and you won it. And that's all that matters, is that you won it. Then you played that crazy game with Alabama. You win 46-41. We saw Tua getting smacked around. We knew that was a big deal. Then a game that kind of makes you scratch your head. We're going to come back to this in a second. I'm going to be fair to y'all. I'm going to be fair to us. Obviously, I'm biased, but I'm going to try to be fair to both of us. You get that game with Ole Miss, at Ole Miss. 58-37. Okay, you put up 58 points. That is a big deal. That is a big deal. You did give up 37 points, too. You did give up 37 points, too. You played Arkansas 56-20. You played Texas A&M. That was a good commanding win. I mean, you blew them out 50-7. At this point, A&M has given up. A&M has given up. Kellen Mond has not produced like all of us thought he was going to do because he looked like he was going to do it. Then you played Georgia. You did to them what you did to them. I thought that was funny. 37-10. You knocked the breath out of them so hard that they could not utter the words, but did you see who we recruited? Then, of course, this past week, you absolutely circumcised and emasculated and turned them into eunuchs, Oklahoma, 63-28. So that's a very, very impressive schedule. I've already said you had a way tougher schedule than Clemson. So let's get to Clemson's schedule. All right? Be fair. As I've said, you have way more difficult schedule. We can't help that the ACC just decided to suck. When we won the national championship in 2016, we had the toughest schedule in the country. And even then, they said we didn't stand a chance. So we're used to hearing all the rhetoric. That's a word I like to use from time to time. I'm just going to blaze through this Clemson schedule and go from there so I can get on to the stats because we're about 7 minutes in now. First game, played against Georgia Tech. That was Thursday night, Death Valley. Clemson won 52-14. Next game was then against number 12, Texas A&M. We beat them 24-10. They scored in the last few minutes of the game. In fact, I think half their players were dead, but Jimbo said, they'd repossess his country accent if he didn't score. By the way, thank you so much. Nice Guy TV just dropped $2 on me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Nice Guy TV. You're good people. You doing that? I'm checking that out. He said, what's good, Bobby? Well, it's good that you're here, and I appreciate you dropping a few dollars on me. I'll take it. Put it towards that When Bobby Can Drink Beer in March fund. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nice Guy TV, go check him out. He's always dropping deuces around here. I mean, I'm not saying he's going in my toilet and blowing it up and ruining my piping and stuff in there. I'm just saying he's always good to support the channel. Thank you so much. Good to see you. So we beat them 24-10. Next game we played the scare game. Everybody was scared to death. We're going up to Syracuse. What's going to happen? We beat them 41-6. Then we played Charlotte, 52-10. That could have been 110 very easily. Then we played the game that everybody hitches their wagon to. They hitched their wagon to that Clemson was just not worth it anymore. Forget they returned the majority of their team and that they returned all of their coaching staff except one guy who went to, I don't know, linebackers coach up at Boise State. Forget that. They're not battle tested. We don't care if it was. Well, at this point, 8 months ago when they torched Bama. We don't care. That's nothing. When they almost lost to North Carolina in Chapel Hill 21-20. It was a horrible game. Nobody was focused. You can look at the stats for Clemson. You can tell nobody was fired up to go to Chapel Hill. In fact, they thought they were going to walk in and do what they did, or do something much greater than what they did, and they didn't. We got out of it. Very next week, actually 2 weeks later, we played Florida State. I was at the game with Pigskin Pete. Go check out my buddy Pigskin Pete. I was there with Tiger Nation, Prince 6'1". It was a glorious time. We watched them beat Florida State 45-14. Could have beat them much worse, but yeah. Then we played at Louisville. This was the last time Trevor Lawrence threw an interception. Was against Louisville. But we won 45-10. Next week, Boston College 59-7. Week after that, Wofford actually played us a little better than Boston College, 59-14. We went up and played Dave Doran. We know he loves us, and he's always looking for laptops on our sideline. 55-10. Then we played Wake Forest. Wake Forest, up and down season, 52-3. We beat them. Then I was at the South Carolina game. Appreciate my brother-in-law taking me. Went down there, 38-3. The only sandstorm that swept through there that day was when Trevor and the boys beat the piss out of them. Of course, we played Virginia, a Virginia team that gave Florida a much better game than what everybody was thinking, and guess what happened? we blew them out 62-17. And, of course, this past week, we beat a team that we were told for 3 weeks, don't you even think about getting on the same field with them. And now we're being told that again. So let's now jump into some of the players, some of these stats you already know, some of these you kind of don't know, but it's a really, really big deal. So let's look at Trevor Lawrence. He's thrown 370 passes, okay? He's thrown 370 passes total. Completed 250 of them for 3,431 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Yes, the very last interception he threw was against Louisville 2 months ago. Joe Burrow has thrown 478 passes, completed 371. He's completed more than Trevor's attempted for 5,208 yards, 55 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Very impressive. Won the Heisman Trophy. Deserved a Heisman Trophy, and it's a really good story. I like it. We get to the rushers. I said rushers, not Russians. There's no collusion here. Travis Etienne, 192 carries, 1,536 yards, 18 touchdowns. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Prince of Bel-Air, 199 carries, 1,304 yards, 16 touchdowns. We got T. Higgins, 56 receptions, 1,115 yards, 13 touchdowns. We got Chase over there for LSU, 75 receptions, 1,559 yards, 18 touchdowns. That's on your offensive production, all right? That's on your offensive production. We're going to go ahead and jump into some of your points per game and what's going on. If you hadn't paid attention to the points per game, you hadn't paid attention to the defense, if you haven't paid attention to who's been doing what, these numbers will tell you a lot about both teams. Now, I know, and listen to me, I do this all the time now. So I'm used to the rebuttals. I'm used to the complaints. I'm used to people being upset. I'm used to the things that you say. So, though that's your opinion, it doesn't always mean I respect it. But you say it, and I read it. Clemson does have an easier schedule. Bada bing. But remember, they were not even supposed to be on the same field as Ohio State. And we won and they didn't. So, as I've said, I believe it's going to be a very close game. I don't believe there will be blowing out of anybody in this game. These numbers are going to tell you about offense production for both teams. Clemson is averaging 45.3 points per game. LSU is averaging 48.9 points per game. Points allowed. This is interesting. Clemson is allowing 10.6 points per game. LSU, 21.2. Now, Bobby, you realize we played Alabama. I do. Now, Bobby, you do realize that we played Auburn. I do. I'm just saying. Normally, defense has not been a problem for y'all. Total yardage per game, Clemson's averaging 538.4 yards per game. LSU's averaging 564 per game. So you've got us there by about 25 point something yards. There we go. 25.7. I believe that's it. Math in my head. I use my little pinky toe. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. By the way, I see a bunch of you in here. There's 71 of you in here. Nine thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. I dare you. Or maybe this works. Simon says, hit the thumbs up. We'll see what happens there. I'm glad y'all here. I'm just going through the numbers. Clemson's averaging 292 on the ground, or passing, excuse me. LSU's averaging 397. Clemson's averaging 246 on the ground. LSU's averaging 166.9 on the ground. So you obviously see they're throwing the ball for 105 more yards. 105 more yards than Clemson is. They're throwing the ball more. You heard the stats. Joe Burrow, 371 of 478. And Trevor is 250 of 370. So he's completed more than Trevor's attempted. Very pass-heavy team. It's really worked well for them. It was good to see them open up the offense. It was good to see them open up and use their weapons. It was good to see them do what they do. Now, obviously, I'm not pulling for them, but I'm going to tell you that during the season, it was good to see LSU actually use what they have. It's like walking out to a garage and there's sets of Ferrari. And you're with your buddy, you're at his house. You're like, oh, are we driving the Ferrari today? No, he goes over to the Murray lawnmower, cranks it up and says, hop on. You can sit on this tire well right here. That's what y'all done for years. What's changed with LSU is you're using your weapons. You're using your weapons. Real quick, I want to stop right here and recognize somebody. Jesse Sullivan just gave me $2 in a super chat. Thank you so much, Jesse. Jesse, I appreciate you. Reaching down there in your pockets, you pulling out a couple of dollars, you say, here, ice cold beer on me. I will drink it in March when the doctor says I can. Possibly even if he says I can't. May there to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. He said that Burrows is a 6th-year transfer. Probably so. Probably so. He's looking good, though. Looking good. I got a bunch of people saying may there to me. I'm going to say may there to you, and then I'm going to hop right back in. You, Mister, you mad, bro? May there to you. Hudson Collins says, Bobby, shout me out. Hey, Hudson Collins. There you are. Good to see you. Kevin Bordeaux, Andy Nickus, JJ, Raphael Garrison, Clay Geiger, Parker Henderson, Rob Hambrick, Saf Adams, Isaiah Coyote, doing well, sir. Tiger Nate hadn't seen you in a while. May there to you, buddy. Good to see you. May there to all of you. All right, I'm going to get back into this thing. Now let's talk about yards allowed. Clemson's averaging allowing, this is on defense, allowing 244.7 yards per game. They're only allowing 138.5 in the air and 106 on the ground. LSU, on the other hand, is allowing 341 with 221 of that in the air and 119, listen to me, on the ground. See you Tiger Girl, let me see. See you Tiger Girl 95. May there to you. Good to see you, woman. Good to see you. Glad you stumbled in here. Juicy to Liddy. The real McCoy wants to know, am I still killing cats? County still hired me to do it. I'm still killing them. Gotta get you a good shotgun with good spread. Turn on that song, meow, 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 and they'll get and dance in a line, and then you take them out. Very effective. There may be a different ways to skin a cat, but I only know of one way to kill them effectively, and that's it. All right, so here's what this all boils down to. We could talk about both defenses. We could talk about how LSU stepped up against Oklahoma. We could talk about how Clemson, who deserve not to even smell the same field as the Ohio, what does the mean? The Ohio State Buckeyes. But at the end of the day, Clemson wins, LSU wins, and now we're here. We're here. We're here at this crossroad between two teams who I believe have the premier coaches in college football at this point. They're definitely the two characters of college football. You've got the very elusive, very outspoken, very energetic Dabo Swinney. And then you have the coach who everybody knows just by listening to him. Ed Orgeron, very enthusiastic. And there's one thing I admire about both these men. They love their teams. I believe if you ask Dabo Swinney, or you could peer into the brain of Dabo Swinney, and you could look into the brain of, that's my kid jumping upstairs. There's nothing bad happening. I hope not. But if you could look to the brain of Ed Orgeron, what would you see? What would you see? You would see that they love their school so much, and there's nowhere else they'd rather be. And that's true. So you get these two guys together, you get these talent together, you're going to have one incredible national championship, and I believe that that's what it's all going to come down to. That's what it's all going to come down to is talent. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now, and then I'm going to say, may there to a couple of people, Justin Firm, I saw what you did. Just give me 1 second. I appreciate you. Give me 1 second. Now, I'm going to get right here because after I do this, I'll recognize that, and then I'm off. Well, some people says I'm always off. But I am going to tell you this. If Clemson comes out flat in this game, LSU will definitely take advantage of it. That's not something I'm running from. I'm not sitting here going, that could never happen. Things happen, okay? 100%. I just don't believe they will. The next thing is, LSU is going to be basically home in New Orleans, all right? It's going to be home for them. It's a home game. This is very emotional for Ed Orgeron to bring his team from this drought of, 12 years of having a national championship and play the national championship in New Orleans. It's something like a movie would be made of. I believe in that stuff. It drives people. Sweeney's story is really good because of that stuff. So they're going to be home by location, by family, by people surrounded by them. But the thing I'm going to throw out there to you, you think I'm stupid. That's fine. We have been to the college football playoff. This is year number 5. We're right at home. So no matter whether you take us to Pasadena, which that wasn't in Pasadena. That was out there where the 49ers play. That's boring. But it was still a national championship. Or whether you send us down to Miami, one thing you should know, we feel right at home. So to quote the great Ed Orgeron, when the post game against Georgia, when they asked him, basically, where do you prefer to play? He said, we'll play you anywhere. Out of respect to the good coach, I'll say the same thing. We love playing ball, but we're not afraid to go anywhere to play you, even if it's coming to your house and having to do it. Justin Firm, I'm going to tell you right now, thank you so much. You just supported my channel. You just dropped $2 and said, may there to me. May there to you, Justin. You gave me $2 to throw into the Bobby Dirkens Can Drink Beer in March fund, and I will drink that and just be thankful for it. I'll take it. I'll use it. I'll apply it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Justin. Thank you, everybody out there. I'm seeing 76 people. Thank you. Thank you. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with me. 77 people's in here. 28 thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Start knocking her out left and right. Let's get her up to 100, even though there's only 79 in here. Hey, well, let's just do it. We'll break the numbers. We don't care. You make the numbers, and me too. Well, I'm Bobby Dirkens. I think this is going to be one of the most exciting national championships ever. 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 Oh, hold on 1 second. Chase Henderson just gave $5. $5. Thank you. He said more, let me see that. More blow darts. Oh, for the kids upstairs, so they'll shut up. It'll be just like, and he passes out. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. I really do. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. You know I appreciate it. You know I appreciate it. You know I don't take it for granted. Good Lord, somebody else just doofus. I don't like to call you doofus and then say thank you for the $5, but you said for wisdom and comedy wrapped up into one brilliant, refreshing package. Well, thank you, doofus. Thank you, doofus. Normally, when you say doofus, you're insulting somebody. But I can tell you wear it with pride. And I'm very, 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 very proud. Thank you so much, doofus, for $5. I will use that $5 with all of you. I'm telling you right now, thank you so much, doofus, and everybody else. Reuben Terry says, what's up, Bobby Dirkens? I'm from upstate South Carolina, and Big Orange's gonna roll. I believe you, Reuben. Reuben, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. Jesse says, Clemson doesn't win Heisman's. We just hired the coach. Let me see. Ashley Gillum, do you think Clemson can blitz LSU like they did OSU? I've heard a lot of people say, we'd love to see them try to blitz us. We'd like to here, look, one of the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, pillars, 101s of college football is whoever can pressure the quarterback and do it successfully throughout the game and do it quick enough to disrupt the pass or maybe create problems normally wins the game. That will not change here. If we cannot get pressure on Burrow, we lose this game. If we go out there and our secondary is out of place and we blitz him, it could pick us apart. But the very same thing was said to us about Tua. Tua, very talented. Don't blitz him. He'll make you pay. He can pick you apart, and he could. And Tua's not dead, by the way. Tua's alive and well somewhere rehabbing his body. So he's not an afterthought. We had to do it that way. We're going to have to do it here. And that's Venable Styles. So if we live by the sword, sometimes you have to dial by it. But at the same time, I think we're going to live by it, and I think we're going to create. It's going to be a good game, but I think that will, if we can get to him as effectively as we did with Fields, and as we have with other quarterbacks that we were told there's no way on a frosty day and you know where you'll ever get to him. That's never going to happen, and then we did, and we won the game. Now I think this is going to definitely be it. Tell you, it's definitely going to be it. And do I think Burrow is going to get some of his play? Yes, because he's talented. That's it. Talented players are going to get theirs. All right? It's going to happen. But we will play the game on the 13th and figure it out. Everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Hit the subscribe button. Do tell everybody about me. I had somebody the other day going, I tell everybody about you. Well, thank you. Thank you. Preach good word of the Lord. I'm trying to do it all the time. Well, I'm going to go to bed and probably go buy some of those darts somebody just gave me $5 to sedate my children. Well, y'all be good. I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. I'll keep showing out.